Welcome back to another video, my friend. I'm Blake and you're you, and this is Mono Green Stompy in Explorer. Mono Green Stompy is a deck that seems to always be around. Sometimes it's at the top of the meta of any format, but there's always some form of Mono Green, it seems to be. And this deck is pretty solid. So let's start jumping into the list. You will see a few weird one-ofs because I am a bit of a budget player and I'm working on growing the old collection, but this will give you an idea of what the deck can do and how to build it. So let's just start here at the bottom. At the 1-drop slot, 4 copies of Llanowar Elves. It's incredible to ramp on turn 1, setting up that 3-drop onto turn 2. It's very simple, you know how good it is. Running 1 copy of Pelt Collector just because it is an early threat that grows over the course of time. As other things come in, it gets counters on it. Running 1 Ascendant Packleader. I think you could run kind of a mix-up between these two cards. You could run 2 of 1, or you could maybe even get to 3 of 1, or do the split like I'm doing. Both are very good cards that grow over time and come down early threat, but also aren't terrible in the late game. We're running 3 copies of Blizzard Brawl. This is our main removal spell for the deck. It's that 1-mana snow sorcery that gives a creature you control +1/+0 and indestructible, and then lets you fight something. So quite strong. And then 1 copy of Primal Might is a bit of a game ender. It gets to fight, and it makes one of your creatures huge, trying to set up that late game win. Going to the 2-drop slot, we see an interesting one here in 4 copies of Outland Liberator. I think this card is quite decent against the Greasefang decks. There's also just a ton of good enchantments out there right now. Essica's Chariot, the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and even sometimes just attacking with this thing when it's transformed and blowing up a treasure is quite good. So Outland Liberator, a 2/2 that comes down on 2 that pressures them to play cards, is actually pretty good in the deck. 1 copy of Run Through, which is just another fight card. 1 copy of Scavenging Ooze. I think I would up this to at least 2 copies if I had another one. It's really good against Greasefang right now. It's really good against Is It Phoenix, and it lets you grow while also getting cards out of the graveyard. Similar with Werewolf Pack Leader, I think this could be a card you run more of, but I've only got the 1 copy, but it can draw you cards, and just coming down as a 3/3 for 2, very, very good. Moving up to the 3-drop slot, we're running 4 Lovestruck Beast and 4 Old Growth Trolls. These cards have both been around a while. Really good. Lovestruck Beast can set up a turn 1 and turn 3 play all by itself. The Old Growth Troll, a 4/4 trample for 3 that ramps you when it dies, is amazing. We're running 1 copy of Boreal Outrider. I think this card is pretty darn nice. Just a little test card in the deck. It brings stuff in with +1/+1 counter since we're already running a bunch of Snow Forest. 1 Primal Adversary. This one you may not be as familiar with. It's a 4/3 for 3 trample. When it enters the battlefield, you can pay 1 and a green any number of times. When you pay that cost, put that many +1/+1 counters on Primal Adversary. Then up to that many target lands you control become 3/3 wolf creatures with haste that are still lands. So potential big game ender at 5 or 7 mana. It can come in with a counter, and 4/3 trample for 3 is also quite a good route. Now also running 1 copy of Varis Silverymoon Ranger. This is 3/3 reach ward 1, can stop those pesky flyers, and every time we cast a creature or planeswalker spell, we get to venture into the dungeon. Unfortunately, that only happens once each turn, but it's just a nice little extra value getting us access to some dungeons, and 3/3 for 3 is pretty nice. Ward 1 comes into play more often than you would think. Now up towards our big plays, we are running 3 copies of Boseiju reaches Skyward. This is going to ramp us into the late game, but also flip into a very large reach creature, which will pretty much dodge any removal that the format has, except for a couple of things people are running that are off meta. So it's quite good. We have 1 copy of Collected Company. Again, this is one you could probably even get away with 2, 3, or 4 of, but I've only got the 1 copy. It's just an amazing card. And I am testing 2 copies of Gnarled Professor. 5/4 trample for 4, and when it comes in, learn. So I am playing a best of 1, and so then I've got a sideboard stacked of all the good things that I could find. So Fractal Summoning makes this deck technically a Simic deck, but it's really not, because this can be played in the late game just for that green mana, obviously. But if you see this deck coming up as Simic, that is why I take a look at the sideboard if you're copying the list. Then 2 copies of Great Henge, just an amazing card. Pairs incredibly well with Boseiju because it's going to be potentially a 7/7, letting you play this for just that 2 green mana, which is incredible. And then we actually get to run somewhat low land list. We have 21 Snow-Covered Forest, 1 copy of Boseiju, 1 copy of Hydra, and then we are also running the Kazandu Mammoth, which does get us to 24 lands, but with the Mammoth, kind of feels like 23, and it runs absolutely fine, just like that. So this is Mono Green Stompy. If you could do me a favor while I'm trying to grow this channel, if you know a player that you would enjoy this deck, that you think would enjoy this deck, please share this video with them. So thank you, and let's jump into some games so you can see what this deck can do, my friend. Okay, so jumping into our first game here, we do see a really nice curve out here. We can go Lovestruck Beast with the Heart's Desire into an Ooze, and then we have these 2 options on turn 3. So this is quite nice. I am playing on the rank ladder here, and I am in Diamond, so you should see me going against pretty decent decks here, and we should get to see really how good the deck is in Explore. We're going up against a Kahira, the Orphan Guard deck. I have seen this card pop up a few times, but I don't remember exactly what they are going for here, to be perfectly honest. So I'm not familiar with what the deck is trying to do. It's probably 5 color if they're running World Tree. Each creature is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast. So I'm not exactly sure what that means. We'll take our free damage, and then we're curving out nicely. We've got a nice kill spell. So this is probably a landfall deck, 5 color landfall maybe. Maybe it's elemental. It could be 4 color. Could be basically 4 color elementals with an Omnath, I'm guessing, and then maybe they just kind of splash in that last color. So we saw the elemental. Probably the play is the Lovestruck Beast, because it blocks it and can trade even if they drop 2 lands. I don't think anything in the graveyard we need to get rid of. I think that is our play for now. We've got Ram Through next turn if we need it. Ram Through on an Old Growth Troll, hitting that at 1 feels pretty good, probably. This is definitely an elemental deck. I don't exactly know what I need to stop first. Maybe the Reef is more dangerous? The Reef is ramping him, which pairs really nicely with the elemental, so I'm thinking maybe I ram through. Now that maybe changes things, but this just does so much value. Sorry, there's a giant semi-truck outside of my house right now. I'm sorry if you can hear that. So options are ram through, but then also we could exile something, but that doesn't grow us because it's not a creature. Or we could just straight up go Boseiju, let them kind of go off next turn. Let's see if he's willing to give me anything for free. Probably will chump there. Okay. It's an interesting choice. I'm really tempted to ram through now. I think ram through now is the way to go. I don't think we want that Risen Reef to stay and get him a bunch of elemental triggers right here. And then we can go ahead and hit that Risen Reef just to make our Ooze a little bit bigger. And I think we're in a pretty good spot. Next turn we can Boseiju to set up a giant blocker later. I think that was the right play. I think we're in a pretty powerful position. You see another Brushfire, so that's going to get obnoxious with both of those. Yeah, World Tree really good here. Really quite nice. Yep, that's good. That's quite good. Okay. We're gonna take 10, potentially. It's gonna gain some life. I think we can just take the 10 this turn, I think is fine. It would be... I feel like it would be pretty hard for him to get 2 landfall triggers. So the question is, do I go Troll and Liberator, or do I set up the big boss? Control and Liberator gives me more blockers, just in case. Let's swing in with these 2 again and see what happens. Probably trumps at least there, right? No. Okay. I think I just want to set up more blockers, and then that also allows me to go wide on the attack next turn if needed. If needed. Well, I guess this just gives me 1 valid blocker, so that's probably pretty important. Ooh. That's quite nice. Yeah, good game. I think he got me. I think he got me with that play right there, because he can just get 1, 2, 3 by me. Well, I still got a few blocks. I don't know if it's over just yet. Let's see what we can do. That might be enough to do it, though. And probably another landfall. Probably get that luck. So I can only block 1 of these. So he got me. Yep, good game. Alright, well, we saw 1 game. Let's get another one. Okay, triple Lovestruck Beast is pretty interesting, and then turn 2 we can go Pelt Collector plus another Heart's Desire. I think this is fine. We'll see what Yink here is playing. We are in Diamond tier, so we're playing pretty legit decks at this point. Okay, Thoughtseize, it could be Greasefang, could be Rakdos mid-range, could be Rakdos Anvil. If it's, yeah, that's fine. That still sets up a nice little curve out here, turn 1, 2, 3. Outland Liberator will be really good if it's an Anvil deck. Still could be Greasefang. Still could be Anvil. Let's do Liberator. That's a problem if he's an Anvil, so he might just remove here. This next turn, yeah, probably just play this Beast for 3. Hoping that the Liberator sticks around. It's quite a good card in the Anvil matchup. Most Greasefang decks from Ardu do not run Thoughtseize. I feel like I see Thoughtseize in the Esper Greasefang list more. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but this is more likely to be an Anvil deck with the Cat Oven combo, in which case this is a pretty important card for us. So I'm not really going to be interested in sacrificing this for combat. Pretty smart choice there, I think. But he also knows we have 2 more of these, so I don't know if I understand that. Maybe he's not Anvil? Okay. Probably definitely not Greasefang if we're seeing this card. Probably mid-range. It's probably Rakdos mid-range running the Obnixilis, I'm guessing. Guess we'll find out. Not sure why he discarded this. I guess he felt maybe 2-3 lifelink wasn't enough at this moment. Not sure what he's looking for. We see Chandra.
It's my turn.
Okay, he is nervous about that, so that's interesting. But we do get to swing with the Beast this turn, because we can do this. And I think the play is to just go ahead and guarantee that we get rid of Chandra, clear the board, put ourselves in a power position. And then I think for now I actually want to hold on to this one just in case they've got a little snipe spell of some kind or a little odd versus even board wipe. I don't want to risk getting rid of this because I want to be able to play this and then attack next turn if I so choose. Oh, well that is unfortunate. I guess I could have thought of that. I still think that was an okay play. It's hard to know. 50-50 shot there. We're still going to be able to attack with our beast, put a lot of pressure on. He does know we're going to have this beast as a blocker, but we're forcing a top deck here with double Lovestruck Beast attack coming in next turn. He's in quite a bit of trouble. He does get to cycle through potentially both of these cards and effectively draw 3, but he likes his hand, so that's not great. Okay, Sorin can get him some lifelink blockers. Yeah, that's fine.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
I think we just go to face, force at least 1 block, probably 2. I think that is correct. Yeah. He can make 1 more next turn. And then let's go ahead and put that out there. Gives us another 1/1. We'll have 2 blockers again this turn. Also is going to be gaining a good amount of life. Interesting choice here. A little risky taking that. Heartless Act is a really good choice for him. Obviously, you can get rid of one of these beasts. It's pretty good. Ooh, Croxa. Luckily, we're pretty fine, but he will get to escape that next turn. For sure, he's got enough in the bin. He's going to have, what, a 6/6 next turn? Am I swinging face? Do I go with everything to face, or do I go everything at Sorin? I could basically... I think Sorin is worse because of the life gain. Chooses to keep it, but we cut off the life gain this way. So that's good. He does just have Croxa, which is awesome for him. I feel like that's risky. I guess he gets to choose when he sees it. Okay, didn't like it, or it was too big. Croxa's still not going to be great. Still a pretty big problem. So we've got to find... We've got to top deck an answer here. We've got a little time, but especially with Sorin out, he's going to be doing a lot of work. Might even be worth a full swing at Sorin just to clear the board. Because my Lovestruck Beast, I guess my Beast plus this token kills Croxa. Ooh, this is perfect. This will help a lot. And I'm tempted to just take this, make my guy big enough. I think that's what I want to do. I think we're going to take Expanded Anatomy. We'll hold off next turn. This will be a 7/7, just dodging the Croxa. Or we can also put it on the Professor. That still dies, though, so that's probably worse. I think we go 7/7 here.
Blood for knowledge.
He can't make his silly little blocker. It's obnoxious. Sure, we don't care about that. Except that he's gaining life is unfortunate. Pretty good. Another blocker for him. Ooh. Now that's unfortunate. In this case, I guess we are going to double here just like so. He will be 1 card away from escaping again. Boseiju is not the worst thing we could draw here. We've got a little time. We get to thin the deck a touch. It gives us discard fodder for later. Let's go ahead and try to get rid of Sorin here. He's probably going to chump again, but I think Sorin's going to is giving a lot of value that I'm interested in getting rid of. He could double block, which would be fine with me. We'll take it. We will take it. We don't need to put anything on top next turn, so that's effectively nothing. But the turn after that, we're going to get a nice big ol' 7/7 Reach Boy. So that will also help against the Kroxa. Yep, okay. If we can get rid of it again, then we're sitting pretty. Ooh, we're only at 6, though. I'm actually tempted to draw another land here.
Secrets? Very well.
Because the land turns us into a 7/7 the turn after. You can have your trade. We also can just double block here. I think it's kind of fine with the graveyard empty. Liberator's not the worst thing. I don't think I want to do that. Go Liberator. Do we blow up the Mirror Breaker? He could make more of those. Are we just trading Mirror Breaker for this? Is that worth it? Honestly, probably. Just take away his options to make a bunch of extra stuff. Hold back. I think double blocking here is quite good. We're just holding on. Sorin is putting in probably enough work to win him the game. I actually think it would be better off making a bunch of lifelink vampires, would be putting him in a better position. That's fine. That doesn't do anything for him. Can only use it on his turn. We know it's there. I don't think this hurts us at this point of the game. I'm fine if he attacks us. Now I'm less fine if he attacks us. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a good move. That's a good move. Yep. Pretty bad position here. Yeah, and then he forces us to block. I think he sealed it up with that Bone Crusher, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he sealed it up with the Bone Crusher. I'm pretty sure. We'll go ahead and see what we can draw just in case, but I don't picture anything that I could draw that would save us here, to be perfectly honest. And that'll be the game. Good job, Yank. Let's get another one. Okay, jumping into another game. Collected Company is pretty good to see. Double Elf will be a little weird, but I still think it will be okay. That will turn on a turn 3 Boseiju reaches Skyward, which I think is actually a pretty good time to play that. We're going to play a land of our own. Play an elf of our own. Well met, Blund. Well met. Got the fancy pretty one. Okay, so it's Jund's Sacrifice, almost certainly. Three mana available here. We're just going to ramp a whole bunch. We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and get our maximum value right here. And then next turn we'll have 6 mana, which is pretty cool. So that gives us the option. Probably just playing Boseiju early. I think that'll be pretty good against this matchup that's just trying to kind of slowly whittle me down. It could be also, I guess, some kind of mono green. It looks like more like mono green, I guess. Mono green ramp or devotion. I'm just not familiar like why that card is here. I think we go Boseiju. Collected Company and Lovestruck Beast next turn. It seems good. Clear the deck just a little bit. No attacks, and then next turn we're really setting up to do something. Seems good.
Nature's beauty.
Wow, clears the hand. Very nice, very nice. Not interested in blocking that. This is not going to do much for him now, though. Still not sure why this card is here. Seems like everything else I get, except for this. Okay, perfect. So we've got 7 mana available to us. I'm pretty sure our play here is to just put down a Lovestruck Beast. We can pair that with some good blocks to kill this, whatever size that ends up being. And then we can also Collected Company to bring out a wider board. This is coming on turn next turn. I think this is going to be pretty good. He obviously can look to draw a bunch of lands, which is totally fine. Yep, he's going to get to put some more lands out. This being a 6/6, I think is fine. I think it's worth it for us to kill this. You can have the Troll King. So it looks like he's got a mini combo going here with the Witch's Oven and the Troll King, maybe. I still think this is an underrated card that's never quite made its way. I think we Collected Company now. See if we can find anything interesting. Okay, Glimmed, what are you waiting on? Are you deciding to sack something? Or, we know you're not going to counter me in mono green. So let's make a decision here, friend. Boseiju's coming at him next turn. I will absolutely take both of these. And now the question is, what do I desire to keep? Beast in this or this and this? This can grow more. So I think my play here is to sacrifice this. It's effectively 1 card. We're getting rid of this. Our troll can get that trample rolling. This is a bit of a problem here to get around. Slightly the wrong size here. With all our mana, if there's enough creatures, we can grow this thing to 1, 2, 3. We can only get him to a 5/5 at the moment. So we'll go ahead and put down our Pelt Collector. And then I think we just have to wait a moment. I think we're just waiting a moment here. We need some more creatures in the bin for the Scavenging Ooze to put in some more work. So we can certainly fuel him up. We're in 7, putting in a pretty good amount of work.
The heat.
Making these tree cults is pretty good. I think I like this. I think this is great for me. Because this helps me make a giant Scavenging Ooze, and we get to hit this out of the graveyard, so he will not even get to cast it. Actually don't, oh, we don't get a choice there. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. Now that's an ability which I believe we will get to respond to. Excellent. Get rid of that. Waste your 3 foods. Thank you. That is a perfect little combo for us. Let's go ahead and get the rest of them. Let's get all of his creatures out of there just in case he has anything to do with it. And just for funsies, I'm going to hit Ran 7. And we don't have any reanimation, so we're going to go ahead and spend all of our mana to do the same thing, to get the biggest possible ooze we can, which is going to be pretty big. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now I've got some choices here off the Professor. I might just want more +1/+1 counters right here, right now, which I can do with Expanded Anatomy. Could also take a removal spell. Mascot Exhibition, obviously very good. I think I just want to make this thing too big to block right now. I'm going to get greedy and go Expanded Anatomy again. Don't know if this is the right play, but I think I want this thing to be a monster. See if he's interested in giving me the Paradise Druid and the Tree Folk. He is not. Okay, that feels pretty good, I think. Excellent. Okay. We can exile one card out of a graveyard if we need to with the Elf, just in case that comes up. We do have a Beast in our own graveyard, so this can get to 10-10. Pretty great. And we got a win. Finally got a good showing of the deck. I know we got off to a rough start there, but let's go in and get at least one more and see what the deck can do. Okay, on the draw, we see 3 lands. We see Lovestruck Beast and Old Growth Troll. I think that's totally fine for us to start with. Let's see what Asmarion has here. Black, white. Not sure what that will be. Could be Greasefang. It also could just be a life gain deck, because normally you don't run these tap lands unless you're feeling life gainy. Let's go ahead and take our free one. Let's see what they're playing here. I'm going to guess life gain if they're running Skyward Barons in Diamond. Most Diamond players have some nice... Yeah, it's got to be life gain. Which I hate. I hate it, guys. I hate it so much. I hate Righteous Valkyrie. I hate the 1/4 thing that draws you a bunch of life. Not a fan. Not a fan of any of it. Next turn we can at least Blizzard Brawl something. Actually not too worried about that. I mean, this is way worse. But luckily we get to Blizzard Brawl that thing this turn. So that's going to feel quite nice. So let's do that now. Blizzard Brawl right here. Swing right here. He'll probably trade those two, I'm guessing. But maybe not. He's got life gain. He might just want the Overseer hanging out. Okay. Not terrible. We got 2 trolls out. It's going to put some pressure on. The Professor can get me a removal spell if they play something crazy. Yep, that's pretty good. Very nice, very nice. Smart play. Let's do attack first. Probably just going to take 8 because he can gain a bajillion life. Couple options. I think this gets me more raw power on the board. Let's do that over the Professor. Hope he doesn't have like a big fatty that can come down right now, which he probably does. It's not the worst thing. Could have been worse. Means he's digging for answers. Oh, it's a Greasefang deck. I have not seen this build of Greasefang. This is pretty weird. Now luckily we have Liberator in here basically for Greasefang. It saves us 1 whole turn against Greasefang. So we're going to hold on to that for now and then swing in with a whole bunch of baddies. See if we can put the pressure on. Sure. He can reanimate, I guess, but he also has no interesting things in there. That's fine. I will take this trade for the Valkyrie. No problem. This now puts us at a very interesting amount of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we don't need the Liberator as bad now. So let's take this. I am going to just take Exhibition, and we're going to go with another Lovestruck Beast, and I think we're in a good position here. I think we're in quite a good position. So let's see. Overseer gaining a bunch of life, but a weird deck. I guess it's Orzhov, Life Gain, Greasefang. They're trying something interesting. I'm always a big fan. I have an Orzhov Greasefang deck myself, but it's more around like Rafine's Informant and tossing stuff in the bin. I don't understand Greasefang here. Maybe he's just... I just don't understand it. I guess he's running the Parhelions, but it just doesn't seem like an optimal choice. Now, I think this is where we show off the Adversary. I think we do Adversary, and we pay twice, and we target these 2 Snowlands. They stay tapped. That I wasn't sure about. But we still get to put a lot of power on the board, and just like that, we win. We're up in this win rate a little bit with Mono Green Stompy. I promise it's playable. Let's get one more game and see if we can go positive on the day. Okay, getting another game here. We are going first. A little awkward going first with the 2-lander, but we've got 2 2-drops to hold off for a while. I think we can go for it. And we also have the Lovestruck Beast turn 1. This can set up a draw turn 3 if we have to, or turn 4 rather, with the 6 power between these 3. And we draw another land, which is great. I think Packleader is better than Liberator early on, especially since Liberator is a little more matchup dependent. Adversary turn 3 feels pretty good. Probably makes a little more sense to go Lovestruck Beast, I guess. Just a little more power on the board. Looks like we're playing a Sultai deck. Haven't played much Sultai on the ladder. Could be Ultimatum. Probably Sultai Ultimatum, I suppose. Next turn we will get to draw a card off this as long as no removal spells come down. Probably just takes the block, yep, saves himself 3 damage. Totally reasonable. Curious to see what we're going up against here. Married with children, good luck. Means probably tired. Okay. Really feels like they're pushing towards their 7 mana. Let's go ahead and draw an extra card. 6, 7. So we probably see Ultimatum next turn. I don't know what they're going to flip. I guess this gives us the option of blowing up some nasty artifact. So let's just stick with that for now. They probably play Ultimatum. I don't know what they're bringing out with it, though. So we shall see. They got to get lucky and hit it, or we just crush them next turn. Massacre is worse. That sucks. Let's go ahead and kill it at least so he doesn't get all the benefits. But what a bummer. I think we can rebuild though. Unfortunately, we were only at 3 lands, which is a little awkward. But I think getting back to a beast for 4 is pretty solid. I still think we're seeing that Ultimatum. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, interesting.
I have practiced.
Interesting choice for sure.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah, that's smart. So you have the 4 mana. He does have the 4 mana for this if he wants it. Now the question is, do I go 6 to face? Or do we get rid of Narset? Okay, sure. Draw me a card, fine. That would have paired nicely together. I think we just do this. I will take my 1 chip damage here, so if he wants to activate it, he's got to get rid of it.
Contain your
We'll
rage.
take my Druid. Or my Elf, I mean. I guess he is technically an Elf Druid, so I guess that works. Trying to hold on. We're keeping the pressure up pretty well. We have a decent removal spell if he plays a creature. Massacre is brutal card. It's so good. Such a good card. Good for you. Good for
Shall
you.
miss your sense of thoughtfulness before action.
Now I'm not sure what the play is, because Henge is terrible in this situation. I guess he's just playing Sultai Removal. Removal Massacre. And that's a strategy, I guess. I guess that's a strategy. Sadly, he can just Abrupt Decay this thing. Which is pretty sad. I think we'll just do that. Just chill for a minute. I'm sure he'll Abrupt Decay. But that at least ramps us a little bit. Sure, go for it. Play your Insight. Snatching my cards. This is such a fun card. I want to build around this card. I'm working on a Tasha Commander deck that's like play your opponent's spells tribal that I'm really quite proud of. I don't have it ordered yet, but I'm super excited for the build. Does it benefit me to hit their graveyard? Should just use my mana just for fun. Oh yeah, we're gonna gain 2 life. I'll gain my 2 life, sure. Might come in handy. Who knows, might come in handy. Just need to play something big and get my Henge on the board, and we can probably come back. But it looks like that's not going to get to happen. Top deck war here. Massacre is tough. Getting a lot of value here. I feel like they're not playing any of my cards, but can they play them? Or cast them? Wow, so they get lands off my library as well. That's pretty sweet. Gotta build around this card. This this and Drugger Necromancer could be funny, just trying to play all their spells. Very nice. That's actually terrible, because now it's got a response to my Great Henge. That kind of sucks. You got it. Not feeling good about this one. We'll see how the deck does in a top deck situation with a dead card. Ouch. I guess if I draw a creature, like a Gnarled Professor or a Growth Troll would be pretty good here, because I can put those out and then slap with the Ram through, and then get Henge down the turn after that. So there is some hope. I just don't know what they're playing for. Is it literally just a Meat Hook Massacre removal deck, and you just play really slow, remove all their creatures, and ping them one at a time while they die, and then occasionally you cast the thing off the Siphon Insight? It's a pretty funny deck. It just doesn't seem like that's a diamond level deck, but maybe it is. And it could be that they are running Ultimatum and they just haven't drawn it. There's also the backup play of Hydra, which is pretty good. Not sure why he's holding up Abrupt Decay at this point. I guess we get to play stuff on our turn, so that's pretty good. You can also Assassin's Trophy that. So we'll wait till he Assassin's Trophy, and then we'll ram through. Because you know he's going to do that on any step here. And he chooses not to, so that's funny. But I feel like it's definitely coming. Yep, he does this. And then he just Assassin's Trophy, but we at least create a little 2 for 2, get rid of that removal. If he does Assassin's Trophy, it protects our Great Henge later. Could be overall good. We're just running out of clock here. If he gets another creature down, we're kind of in trouble. Yep, We will go get another land though, thin the deck a tiny bit. And we get to ramp, so that's kind of good. We're actually just a mana away from straight up playing the Henge, so that's pretty funny. Now you got it all. He gets to keep this, though, which is the worst news in the world. Gonna beat me with my own Liberator. Very nice. Interesting game. Slow, but interesting. Okay. Oh, he gets to blow that up? Oh. I didn't even think about that. How sad. Liberator against the right decks is just hilariously awesome. Of course we draw another land in a situation where we can't even really play our Great Henge. We're going to turn this guy back into a 3-drop. Oh, man. People, what is happening? Maybe he'll deck himself. 30 more cards. Maybe I'll survive 33 more turns. What is this deck? Literally, what is this deck? Oh man, I am tired. And the Hydra gets to come in and slap. He's leaving up mana for his removal stuff. We've got one more turn or the Hydra can kill us. So I don't even know what we can draw. Yeah, we lose. Good game. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me for today's video. Like I said, share it with a friend if you liked it. I think Mono Green could make a comeback, but I just think this list could use a little tweaking. So, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, my friend.